Shalom. This is Sincere Milk of Yahweh Sap, Lion's Den. I camp out with Lion Den Hawan Ben Yashawada in Jacksonville, Florida. First, I would like to say a prayer to the Father, to the Son, to the elders, to the archons, and to the women and children. Kal, Halayim, La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha, Roka, Krodash, Mahamaf, in the name of Yahweh Shai, in spirit, holy, and in truth. Double honors to the elders of GMS. Double honors to my elder Hawan. Salutation to the archons who are on the four corners of the earth in sincerity and truth. And to the women and children, Shalom. Well, a couple of days ago I was doing a lesson. I believe it was called Dark Winter is Coming. And then I mentioned in the lesson when they're going to start doing an investigation on the pipelines. And lo and behold, this is what popped out on the phone today. I said, wow, that's to show you how Yahweh Bashin Yahweh Shai works, okay? Sweden, new report, who destroyed Nord Stream pipelines, okay? Hear this, and then we take it from there. The title of this lesson, The Days Are Evil. Here we go.
On the mainstream media, because I don't know if you've been watching the news lately, but things between Ukraine and Russia are escalating rapidly. We're seeing more and more attacks from Russia on Ukraine's capital, Kiev, every single day. After the Nord Stream pipeline sabotage and the attack on the Crimea Bridge, Russia has unleashed its fury. And the findings we get from these reports on who really blew up Nord Stream 2 could have the potential to create World War III. And time is running out. Both Russia and Ukraine are getting desperate. And the stakes for victory have never been higher. So everyone, what is really going on? What are these new reports telling us? Well, let's not waste any time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get straight into the news, the facts, and the data. It was September 26, 2:03 a.m. local time. An explosion was detonated originating from Nord Stream 2. A pressure drop in the pipeline was reported, and natural gas began escaping to the surface southeast of the Danish island of Bornholm. 17 hours later, the same occurred to Nord Stream 1, resulting in 3 separate leaks northeast of Bornholm. All 3 affected pipes were rendered inoperable. The leaks are located in international waters, not part of any nation's territorial sea, but within the economic zones of Denmark and Sweden. And because some of these attacks happened in Denmark and Sweden's waters, they've been the ones doing the investigations. And they have come out and confirmed recently that yes, it has 100% been an attack. It's not because of some break or some leak. It has been because of sabotage and explosion.
What is the real story of January 6th? Many people have asked that question. Some people have described...
There you go.
It's not because of some break or some leak. It has been because of sabotage and explosion. But what else their findings are saying is more shocking, which we'll get into in a moment. And on September 29th, Russia's President Vladimir Putin said that the Nord Stream emergency was an act of terrorism. Now, after this attack on the pipeline, NATO and Ukraine have been quick to say that this was an attack done by Russia. But a lot of analysts are saying it doesn't make sense for Russia to attack its own pipeline, especially when that pipeline was its last use of leverage against Europe. And the Kremlin has repeatedly dismissed claims it destroyed the pipeline, calling such allegations stupid and absurd, and claiming that it is the US that has the most to gain from gas leaks. So, is it possible it could be the US, everyone? Well, some US officials actually did say that they would do it just months earlier. Let's listen to what Victoria Nuland, Secretary of State for Political Affairs, has to say about this.
We continue to have very strong and clear conversations with our German allies, and I want to be clear with you today. If Russia invades Ukraine, one way or another, Nord Stream 2 will not move forward.
Well, everyone, so there she's saying quite point blank that if Russia does invade Ukraine, Nord Stream 2 will not go forward. And this was on January 28th. But maybe this was just a slip of the tongue, maybe it was an accident, maybe the US didn't really mean it. Well, then again, on February 8th, when US President Joe Biden was asked about the subject again, this is what he has to say on the subject.
If Russia invades, that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
How will you do that exactly? since the project and control of the project is within Germany's control.
I promise you we'll be able to do that.
I don't know if you noticed there, people, but when they were both saying this, they were smiling. Here you can see she's quite obviously smiling here. Again, when we look at Joe Biden, he seems quite happy and quite confident about that they'll be able to do it as well. And I find it quite funny that they literally say, we promise we'll do it in February. Then September happens, and they say, we didn't do it. But like many geopolitical issues, what you simply have to do is follow the money. And does the US have anything to gain by Russia losing this Nord Stream pipeline? Well, everyone, look at this. September 26th, the day the pipeline was blown up. US LNG to meet Europe's energy needs in short and long term. As Russia holds European energy supplies hostage, this study shows how critical American natural gas will be to lasting global energy security. To harness the power of US LNG, we need smart and consistent policy support here at home, including strengthening domestic pipeline networks and energy export facilities. That will ensure both American consumers and global allies have access to the reliable energy that powers our modern world. Well, everyone, again, it looks like the US would benefit from this, but not just them. The day after this attack, another pipeline was announced. Look at this, September 27th, the day after the attack. Baltic Pipeline, Norway-Poland gas pipeline opens in key move to cut dependency on Russia. So again, just using common sense here, the US has said they'll do it. They'll benefit from it, and also some European nations the day after this attack was done, they then opened their own pipeline and they will benefit from it as well. But if that wasn't enough circumstantial evidence to convince you that Russia didn't do it, well, there's another attempted attack on one of their gas pipelines to Turkey. Reuters reported Russia says several arrests in forward attack on Turk Stream pipeline. The Kremlin said on Thursday that several people had been arrested during a forward attack on the Turk Stream gas pipeline on Russian territory, Interfax News agency reported. Russia said it's stepping up its security on the Turk Stream pipeline, which carries Russian gas to Turkey, amid unexplained ruptures on the Nord Stream gas pipelines in the Baltic Sea and oil leak on the Druzhba pipeline in Poland. So again, just me here trying to use common sense. If Russia would blow up their own pipeline that supplies energy to Europe, and then they only had, a few pipelines left to gain some revenue for the country to fund their war, why would they also go ahead and blow up their pipeline to Turkey? It just doesn't make any logical sense at all, everyone. But again, the report from Sweden has come out with some findings, what's really happened with this Nord Stream 2 pipeline. And what they're saying or what they're not saying is more and more convincing of who really did it. Look at this, everyone. This is shocking. Sweden unwilling to share Nord Stream investigation findings. Why are they not wanting to share their findings, everyone? If it was Russia, I'm sure they would share the findings straight away, and it'll be all over mainstream media confirming that Russia was the one that blew up the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. Again, Reuters, Sweden shuns formal joint investigation of Nord Stream leak, citing national security. So Denmark and Germany wanted to join Sweden in this investigation, but they're saying, no, we don't want you to join. We don't want to share any of our findings. What are they hiding, everyone? He said Sweden had rejected the proposal for a joint investigation team, GIT, from Judicial Cooperation Agency Eurojust because a joint investigation would include legal agreements under which Sweden would have to share information from its own investigation that it deemed confidential. This is because there is information in our investigation that is subject to confidentiality directly linked to national security. So again, I think their silence on this matter and their refusal to share any information makes it pretty convincing that it wasn't Russia. Because like I said, if it was Russia, they'd immediately say it and it'll be all over the mainstream media news. And if you want more evidence...
Okay, let me stop right there. So you can see things are not looking good for America, right? Too much wickedness and too much boldness in their talks, like Joe Biden just did, doesn't look too good at all, World War III is not going to be too far from America. Okay, I want to go to Ephesians chapter 5, verse 16. Redeeming the time, because the days are evil. All right? Not only the pipeline is a big issue, right, because it's going to bring about World War III. But what's going to happen in the winter, right? Russia can come and turn off the lights or do something to America as well, right? Soon find out. Verse 17, Wherefore by ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of Yahweh is. Okay? Very important. And also remember that they want to bring the second shutdown to bring on that new federal now digital currency. And also we cannot forget they will mandate the MOTD, right? The mark of that beast. Okay? So things are moving pretty fast. I want to go to Genesis chapter 6, verse 5. And Yahweh saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Wow. One of the Archeans sent in the chat group a website on now they have achieved an app where if one of your loved ones pass away, okay, and I guess went to this app's information and what they call that, recall or map, brain mapping their conscious or whatever they want to call it, that you can actually talk to your loved ones who pass away, and you will have an app on your phone where you can talk to them, they can talk to you. Isn't that wicked? It sure is. Psalm chapter 52. Let me go there. Verse 3. I'm going to jump around. Thou loves evil more than good, lying rather than to speak righteousness. Right? The Edomites, they love speaking lies. Right? Always lying. Non-stop. Right? And, you know, Russia is no saint either. Okay? But World War III is coming. That's for sure. Verse 7. Lo, this is the man that made not God his strength, but trust in the abundance of his riches, and strengthens himself in his wickedness. Woo! That's the Edomites, all right. Right? They want total power. They want to control everything. They have gone cuckoo for Cocoa Pops, right? They want to control the whole world, what you eat, who you sleep with, and what to buy, what not to buy, where to go, and how many hours you have to work. For them, not for you. I want to go to Proverbs. Chapter 10, verse 23. It is as sport to a fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding has wisdom. Verse 24. The fear of the wicked, it shall come upon him, but the desire of the righteous shall be granted. Yeah. Soon, they're going to know what is truly, truly fear. When they see those so-called UFOs crack the sky open, they're really, in the Bible, they're called chariots. That'll be Yahweh Shai and the legions of angels coming upon this wicked kingdom. I want to go to Proverbs chapter 2, verse 14 and 15. Who rejoice to do evil, the Edomites, and delight in the forwardness of the wicked. Verse 15. Whose ways are crooked, and they forward in their path. Yeah, they're crooked, no matter what. Okay? They're crooked. You now that they're gonna want to come out with these new contracts that they want everyone to sign, like they did before. You don't know the rules of what you're signing. They just want you to sign. And top of that, you can read it all you want. Okay, it's written in terminology. Okay, meaning that they have a separate dictionary law book that is not the same as the Webster Dictionary. All right, just so you know. So they want to keep entrapping people, but this time they want to force and demand and threaten or not take their life away. It's kind of strange that with all the technology that today people have or governments have around the world, that they cannot pinpoint, with GPS exactly, right? The people that were under the water. I'm sure that around the world they can do that. Okay, not only Sweden. I want to go to Proverbs chapter 15, verse 3. Keeping it short tonight. The eyes of Yahweh are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. That's right. So he sees everything. Everything is being recorded. Okay? So the Edomites can be saying, no, I didn't do it. So I said this, so what? That doesn't mean anything. But if you and I go to court and do that, boy, they just throw us in the jail, right? And soon they're gonna be, turning loose the what they call that? Martial law. Once they do the second shutdown, okay, and they put everything in panic mode, rest assured they're gonna turn loose martial law. Throw people in FEMA camp. I want to leave it with Isaiah. Let me go there. Chapter 5, verse 20 and 21. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darknesses for light and light for darknesses, that put bitter, slaka, for sweet, and sweet for bitter. 21. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes, and prudent in their own sight. Man, that is totally the Edomites, right? They think they are so wise in what they're doing that they have, opened the door for Russia and China and other countries, right, to aim their missiles over here. Because remember, America government has been going around the world, Democrat and Republicans, right, setting military around the world so they can do their wickedness, right? I hope that this was edifying, and with that I'll say Shalom.